I'm here at Dell with Mark Collier. Mark, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you, Barton?
Fine, thanks. So now what is it that you do?
So I work for Rackspace, but I'm really focused on building the OpenStack community. So I'm Vice President of Marketing and Business Development for Rackspace. But really what I've been focused on the past year is this new open source project, OpenStack, and bringing different partners in, bringing commercial interests in who want to be supporters of the project, who help drive adoption, help put developers on the project. Companies like Dell and the over 40 other companies that are now backing OpenStack and being part of that community and helping to grow that and support it.
So when you're opening an open source community, you have to strike a fine balance between ownership and letting people feel like they as a community can make decisions and create it. How are you setting up that relationship between Rackspace and OpenStack so people feel that they can contribute?
That's a great question. I mean, you're absolutely right. It's far bigger than any one company. It's certainly bigger than Rackspace, and we're really trying to unleash a movement here that's about freedom in terms of the freedom to deploy, to build a cloud wherever you want to consume it wherever you want to, whether it's your choice of service providers or in your enterprise, and the ability to connect all those different environments together. So I think it really starts with kind of the processes and the commitments that we've made. So first of all, from a process perspective, everything's done out in the open. So we have weekly meetings in IRC where we talk about what's coming up in the different releases. All the communication's done through public mailing lists. So we really have a big commitment to openness in terms of how the code is actually built. And then another big part of that process is something called blueprints. So we use a tool called Launchpad, which is if you go to launchpad.net/OpenStack, you can get involved there. But really we use this blueprint process for anyone in the community who wants to come in and join can actually file a blueprint, which is sort of like a feature that they're proposing for a future release. Then we get together every 6 months at our design summits. The next one's coming up April 26th in Santa Clara, so you should definitely make plans to join us there. And we go through all the blueprints, and the community talks it through, and we really make decisions on what's in or out for different releases. We talk about the technical details of how we should solve these different complex problems. So I think that those different ways in which we operate out in the open really helps drive a sense of community in the sense that this isn't being dominated by any one company.
Great. And then what brings you to Dell today?
Another good question. So I think one of the things that's happened since it's only 6-7 month old project, but we've seen a tremendous amount of interest from enterprises and other service providers and telcos globally who have been looking for an open solution like this to build a cloud. And a lot of those people are coming to us and saying, okay, this is great. We now have the software that powers all these clouds, like companies like Rackspace and NASA. Internap now has an OpenStack cloud. So it's great that you have this software, but you need more than software to stand up a cloud. So what's the whole solution? And of course you need the right set of server hardware. You need to figure out how to configure it and manage it. And a lot of those companies are coming to us and asking questions and asking for our help because we've been there. It's a lot of things are different at scale. When you have you're battle tested, you've really been at fought the demons of trying to operate a very, very big cloud at scale. There's not a lot of people who have that experience. So we're trying to help people out in the community. One of the ways is we're talking with Dell about what are the right reference architectures. If you want to do a proof of concept with 10 machines, what 10 machines should they be, and how do I set it up? And then getting to a much bigger scale at production. What's the right networking architecture? So really just trying to share knowledge and build some solutions with Dell to try to help educate the market on what to do when you're ready to deploy OpenStack.
Excellent. And then just to close out, you've got a release coming out, the community does. Can you tell us a little bit about that and when it's coming out?
Yes, we're very excited. So we're already on our second release. So we have a very rapid development cycle right now. The second release is called Bear. It's Bexar, so you may think it's Bexar, but it's actually named after the county in San Antonio where the last design summit was, where we planned out this release. So the Bear release is next week, which is February 3rd. So that software will be coming out. Our real theme there is it's ready to deploy. This is something that we are working with internally as well as with other companies to help them deploy it. We have a lot of features that are very important that have come in from different members of the community that are experts on these different areas. So for example, the IPv6 support. IPv6 is a very hot topic. We're running out of IP addresses and IPv4 space. any day now, right? We're basically out, and so IPv6 is a must-have this year. So what's really awesome for us is, it's of course Rackspace, runs a very large network with 9 data centers globally, but we have NTT who runs a backbone in Japan, who actually not only wrote the blueprint and proposed it, but they wrote the code for the IPv6 support in the Bear release that's coming out February 3rd. So that's pretty amazing when you have somebody with that much networking experience that's actually writing the code for you, for the community, for everybody as part of OpenStack, and so that's pretty exciting. We also have an image service, which is codenamed Glance in the actual open source project, but really the key there is it's an image registry service, so people will be able to, most people are familiar with the Amazon concept of AMIs, so this is similar in that people will be able to create lots of different images. It gives you a library that you can quickly choose from, and do snapshots and archives, and when you want to clone a server, you want to quickly spin up similar types of servers, you have your own library. So that's a really important feature that will be in the Bear release as well. But in sort of an overall perspective, we think it's really about being ready to deploy and about companies going from sort of kicking the tires to really planning a production environment. And we're excited. Oh, I should also mention we have an event in Santa Clara, 6 p.m. February 3rd at the Santa Clara Hyatt, and so we hope to see you there. We're going to have some lightning talks. Rob from Dell is going to be talking about some pretty cool stuff they're doing that I can't really talk about too much, but I think they're making some big advancements in making it easier to deploy OpenStack, and I think you'll want to be there for Rob's talk.
Excellent. Mark Collier, thank you so much.
Thanks, Barton.